council meeting order July the 5th, 2022. You got any additions to the agenda?
We need a 5-minute executive session.
Okay, you want that at the end?
Yes, please. Or
For Corey?
for
For
Tori.
Corey?
Corey to that.
What's it? Employee.
Non-elected
personnel, employee performance.
Sure. Employee performance. Yeah, for non-elected personnel.
I make a motion to amend the agenda and add a 5-minute executive session for employee performance. Second.
We got a motion on the table and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Marshall Sanders, short. Kathleen Norman is not here. I think Jamie wants to talk about that maybe under
Yeah,
her.
well, we can just do it now. I was just gonna circle
Okay.
back and see if that's something you guys wanted to do, or if you guys want a little bit more time to look on it, think on it. Just so we're not leaving her in limbo. And I don't know that she needs an answer, but
Is that on, what's that on again? For clarification.
the new housing development program that she proposed at the last meeting.
That was the stuff you emailed today, right?
Yeah, it was the handout that she gave last meeting.
Refresh my memory as to what that amount was.
I think it was like 36,000-ish, or 32.
34,750 over 6 years.
Yeah,
34 what?
750.
Thank you,
over
Kath.
6 years. And that guarantees what? 4 houses?
4 houses.
So I asked Kathleen, like, what if the city of St. John is the only town that participates in this? She basically said that she couldn't guarantee we would get all 10 houses in St. John, but we're gonna maybe get 8 of them if we're the only ones. And I don't know what the other towns are gonna be. So if they don't participate, we do, we'll end up with, but I don't know, that's if no one else participates.
Do we have any idea whether any of the other cities have talked about this yet?
I know she's gone to, for sure, Stafford. I want to say she did go to Maxville. And I know she was on the agenda for Hudson. I just don't know when their meetings are. If she's
But we have no idea whether they've said yay or nay.
right.
I think this is a really good idea because we do need homes here, but I'd like to wait and see what the other cities are planning on doing. I don't know how the rest of you think, but that's how I feel about it. I think it's a really good idea. As I said, we do need housing in this community.
And it is a work in progress, so I think as she continues on, she'll have a little bit, because I think you brought up the question of like, how do you select people? Like, I know she had talked about like it, it's still being a work in progress and they still have to work some of the stuff out. It's not a set in stone deal, but, so I think in the future she'll have more information to provide as well.
I think in the meantime, you guys ought to be thinking about where $34,750 a year is going to come for 6 years. That's out there quite a ways. No telling what it'd be like in 6 years. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, and I hate to bring it up, but we don't know. Unless somebody's here who knows more about it than I do.
Jamie, in the paperwork you sent today, there was a note up here.
Well, that was just my note.
Just your, okay.
I think that was the amount allocated from the county that they got.
Okay.
My thought is we tie this into our, and I think we're gonna have a special budget meeting. We haven't scheduled yet.
Yeah, you guys never got
Do we
me.
need to do that this month?
13 to 15.
If we go over the R&R rate, we need to get it to the county by the 20th.
Of July?
Very
We're
good.
going to have the meeting next week.
I think, didn't you talk about 13th or 15th?
I'd like to see
I thought we talked
budget.
about that.
I
Last
don't
meeting.
think we ever said it. We probably need to do it
We never said
sometime.
it.
guess we're kind of talking about this meeting, figuring out a day or getting with Jamie a date,
But Bobby's right, we need to figure out where it's gonna come out of, if we're gonna do it, maybe we just do it, talk about it then.
I guess I'm a little bit more interested if it were she's got the slab foundation like they've been doing, unfinished basement. On the far right, there's another house that did Stafford. I think it'd be more apt to fill positions in St. John, I guess. I know it's, but I would like to see us look at that more than those others.
I agree with that, I'd almost rather if we could get 3 of those houses versus a 4th, I don't know how they're gonna figure that out either, but I like that, I think that style is
I
better.
think there might be some more changes coming through with some of that, so.
Do we know what the money difference is in that?
Yeah.
Here?
38 compared to 50.
Right.
50? 4,000, 16,000.
That's right. But anyway,
So,
just
yeah.
my opinion, I mean,
And I'll just keep in contact with Kathleen and just let her know that we're gonna be looking at the budget and numbers, and if she has any more information to provide, I can just email it out for you guys.
I think it would be.
Yeah, I mean,
With the
yeah, just
budget,
we
about-
usually with the budget, we put the numbers in, and then we still have to play around with the numbers and make it work where it works, so. Not really work where it works, but put money in, like, just like I said, the capital projects. You know, that number sometimes fluctuates because we have leftover money, and so we just put that into the capital projects.
I would agree with Colin. Ron, I think the direction would be a better solution to go with the other half. They can rent it.
I think the one house that you're supposed to be talking about is more appealing, would be more appealing to homeowners if they're interested in buying or even renting. I think, like you said, I'd rather have 3 than 3 of those than 8 of the others, or how many ever we're going to get. I think these would go a lot faster than these others. That's my opinion. When are we thinking of having the budget meeting?
I've been waiting on you guys for dates.
Do Tuesday nights work best, like a week from tonight, between the meetings? Is that too quick, or pick another night?
I mean, I don't see us going over the R&R, so it's not gonna be as, because, I mean, that's something we try to not do. And when I talked to Danielle, she asked about it, because she'll enter everything in, and she has a lot to do before the 11th, so she said if we need to, we can make it work, or we can get it approved on the 19th and then sent in for the 20th. But I just don't, I mean, usually we try to keep it to where we're not increasing. It's the minimum increase that we do every year, so, I mean, we don't usually go over that R&R rate anyways.
But to play it safe, we need to do it next week. Or
So-
next week,
So next Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday at 7?
Parts now, Christmas story, maybe for that. Just thinking about it earlier. Department heads. I guess we can look at it.
I mean, I leave next week for the rest of the month, so.
Might be, just throw something out, might be easier to start it now earlier because I don't know unless they're different than they used to be. I've seen a time we spent 4 or 5 hours.
We're not spending 4 or 5 hours on the budget.
That was last year, 2 hours.
Yeah, probably so.
It's not productive if we're spending 4 or 5 hours on the
Right.
budget. You cannot hold your concentration on numbers that long. That's why we do it. We do the work, the legwork of it, and then we send it to Danielle.
So Tuesday,
at 7 PM.
And you said
Everybody agree at budget meeting on Tuesday the 12th at 7 o'clock? Any more discussion? Moving on, consent agenda, approve the minutes, regular council meeting June 21st, 2022. Special council meeting June 24th of 2022.
I'd make a motion to approve the minutes for regular council meeting June 21st, 2022.
Second.
Got a motion on the table and a second. All in favor? Any more discussion? All opposed? 4-0.
Make a motion to approve special council meeting June 24th, 2022.
second.
Got a motion and a second on the table. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Now, appropriation ordinance 75 of 2022 for $160,844.71.
Make a motion to approve appropriation ordinance 7-5-2022 in the amount of $160,844.71.
Second.
We got a motion. Ryan seconded it. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0. Department head and committee reports. Electric department, Jeff isn't here. Water department, Jason isn't here. Street department,
I'll
jump
give
in
an-
here.
Yeah, I'll give an update on the street because it sounds like we're getting some complaints. They had milled up 4th Street and they ran into the problem of fill and the county not having the asphalt ready to go back in. So they did start that on Friday and the guys are working on it while Jason's gone. They have a little bit more to do tomorrow and then I think Thursday they're gonna go in and try to get the north side done. So, hopefully they can do it without, if not, we'll just have to wait till Monday and Jason will be back. But they are gonna attempt it and see. Alan came in today after he got done and said things are going well, so he's hopeful that they'll be able to get it done. What was the other complaint about?
What was the complaint?
Oh, Brian Brown was complaining that the streets weren't done. There was one other one. What was it? Oh, parking on, loaded trucks parking on the street. I did get a hold of 2 companies to come down this week. So hopefully they'll stay in touch with me then and we'll get down here.
That's kind of good. Those,
Right.
yeah.
So. That's those updates.
That it? All you got, Jamie? Or you got some more?
No.
Police chief, Tori,
Thank
we'll get to your executive session here a little later. You got anything other than that?
Nope.
Moving on. Fire chief, Mike,
I don't have anything.
city administrator, Jamie, you got anything else? City attorney isn't here. Old business, property code violations.
I'm still waiting on a few things from others to get, basically I'm going through and still doing that report even though you guys picked the properties really, like we discussed, like I'm still putting together that report that I did at the last one just so we can, I'm just following the steps that I did last year even though, so all of the properties have been sent to the title company. And once, probably next meeting, once we approve and know, I need to double check with John. I don't remember in the process if we need title work on all of them or just, because I know last year we did title work on some of them and then it kind of came back where we weren't proceeding with them, so I don't really want to pay for it if it's not something that we're going to proceed with. Because the price is quite a bit more this year, so I just wanted to look at that. Because I'm still nervous on a couple of them, the structure, but I mean, I guess we'll still need to know interest, or like persons of interest for the property, even if it's telling them to get it cleaned up, so. But that's really all there.
Does any of these properties have any liens or things like that you're aware of?
Nah, yes, but that'll all come out in the title reports, I think, so. I'll probably just send them to her, or give her the okay tomorrow and just have her get them going. Because even the ones that might be salvageable, I mean, they need cleaned up anyways, so, and we'll need to know who to send them to. So, just do it that way, but as soon as I get done with those letters, I'll get them emailed to you guys. I was just waiting on a couple of things from a couple other people.
Talked about the truck parking a little bit. Any other questions for it? Got the engine for the power plant, got that here, I seen a check for $12,000 some. Is that the end of it, or do you,
Is that, I don't believe it's the end.
is it in and running yet, or?
No, not that I am aware of.
Swimming pool? Vacuum truck repairs, sewer lagoons? Don't know anything?
I mean, we're still waiting on the guy from KMEA. Jason has to take lagoon samples this month, I think, so I'll be interested to see what they read this time.
Is there anything that needs to be under new business?
Hope not, we don't have any additions to the agenda.
Things can go south pretty quick.
Telling me.
Well, that brings us to an executive session for Tori. If you guys would like to do that, maybe entertain a motion.
I'd make a motion for a 5-minute executive session for employee performance to include the table and Tory.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the table. All in favor? All opposed? That's it for 7:23 from the executive session.
I'd make a motion to give Mike Sanders her $1 an hour raise.
Second.
Got a motion on the table and a second to give Mike Sanders $1 an hour raise. All in favor? All opposed? Passes 4-0.
See ya.
And if anybody's got anything else, we'll come forward, and if not, I'd entertain another motion to.
Make a motion to adjourn meeting.
Second.
Got a motion and a second on the table to adjourn. Councilman Stover. We voted on it, passed 4-0.